This is Irontrader. It's Friday morning, TGIF. Now it looks like the futures and Nasdaq's down here about $1.52. Let's just see how this all shakes out here. Now remember, next week here, always pay attention to what Monday is. If Monday is an up day, then we have turnaround Tuesday to the downside and vice versa. Okay, so let's just set yourself up here and look for opportunity. Okay, we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. Remember, the rig count will be out today at 1 p.m. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, about ETF. If you'd like to subscribe, thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin. Now you can see here how we have this 21-day here rolling over, crossed both the 21-day, 100-day and the 50-day, and the 50-day also crossed over, 8 days all the way and down. Now it looks like we may meet at 8-day, might even cross that 200-day. So right now she's looking a little bit ugly, okay? Now easy way to trade this, IBIT for the long, BITI for the old short. So don't be afraid to put the shorty on here if we start losing that 99.250 level, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to look right here to the left-hand side. So what we're watching is really realistically is the bottom of that candle. That's that 99.90. We want to hold that on a closing basis, okay? If not, we could come all the way here to the top of that candle. You're looking at 96.780 level. Okay, then we come down here to the top of there. You're looking at 94.745 level, and we come down there. You're looking at 91.970, and we come all the way down here to that 89.20 level. Okay, very, very easily. Now, when you look at the RSI, this is not oversold yet. This could go down. Same way with here with the green is below your red. This has room to go to the bottom here, but it's going to be a matter of time before this will reverse kind of a situation, okay? So bottom line here, just watch that 99.250 level. Next level is going to be 99.90 that we need to hold on a closing basis today. Okay, upside here, we're going to be checking right there. You're looking at that 106.10 level. We come up to today's high. You're looking at 102.825 level. But the big key is going to be right here at that 200-day at 104.250. Now, you can see here when we had that big red candle down, we went up, got above that 200-day, but we couldn't get above it. Same way with yesterday. Now we have to see how today's going to shake out. But right there, that's going to be key right there, 104.250. Now we get above that, then we have your 8-day at 105.313, and then we have your 109.149 level. Get above that, we can come up to the top there at 111.290, and then we come this right up there. You're looking at 111.785, and we come there at 112.355. Then we'll be looking for that 112.935. That is your 50-day, and we have your 100 SMA. But right now, that's going to be very, very tough to get there unless we have some kind of a catalyst, because we have your 8-day, 21-day. Everything is rolling down on the situation here. Okay, now here we have on the weekly. Now, we're holding this 50-day very, very nice here for a long, long period of time. Now, you can see we lost that 50-day, but right there we still have to hold that 99.90. That's going to be very, very critical. That's the bottom of that candle, okay? And now we just bring this price channels down until we can come all the way down to that 82 and maybe even retest that 74 level. So, okay, so you got to be very, very patient here with the old Bitcoin. But again, if we lose this level, right here at that 99.250, and we lose this key level at that 99.90 today on a closing basis, don't be afraid to take it on the short side with the BITI, because that will work very, very nicely. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Alrighty, here we have gold and silver. Now, I was just thinking that, with this market selling off like this, that gold and silver would be much higher than what it is, but apparently it isn't. But right now we have this sideways consolidation, and this 8-day is key on a closing basis is 39.90 level, okay? If not, we'll come to yesterday's low at 39.73 level. We'll come down here at 39.35, and then we'll be looking for that 39.04 level. That is going to be your 50-day, and then right there at 39.01, that is going to be your big retest. Now, if we lose that, we could really, the big target is going to be right here at 36.41, which is going to be your 100-day. Now, upside, we want to look to yesterday's high. That's at 40.28 level. Come up there at 40.43, and then we have 40.59, and then we're looking for that 21-day at 40.93 level. So right now I put no trade on here for simple reasons. What I am doing, because I don't really trade this, I just look for a long position. I just trade the GLD, and I'm waiting for this to get back above the 21-day. Then we can start rallying up here to basically to this level here, that 41.75 level, and then we can come up to that 42.35 level, and then we can have that retest at 43.98. But right now we just have sideways consolidation, and I say your green is below your red, but you can see how the little bars are starting to get smaller, kind of come up. If this turns, should be able to at least retest that 21-day, and then we have to see what the reaction is once we get there. Okay. Now your RSI, well, you're just sitting here at 50. That's pretty much in the middle here. This was a way nosebleed overbought situation. So right now here, this is just consolidating. It's not selling off. It's not and then it's not blasting up. We just have a little consolidation here now after that huge run up. All right, same way here with the old silver. Huge run up, and now we have this sideways consolidation. And you can see how strong that 21-day is, okay? So when we came down, look at here. Look how many days. Look at that. All the way through. Look how strong it is. See, that's why you want to trade the charts. That's all you have to do. Now, for me, I'm waiting for a close above 48.90. Once we close above that, then I'll jump in the SLV, okay? And then we'll take it down to your next level, which is that 49.66. 50.08 here, and then we'll come right up to this level right here. We're looking at about 51.61 level. Okay, then your next big level is going to be that 53.76 level. But again, you have to close above this 21-day, otherwise we could just go sideways action. Now, downside here, we got to watch this 47.88. You can see how we're holding it nice. Then we go to yesterday's low, 47.41. We have 46.52, and then we have your 50-day at 46.20, and then we have the retest at 45.51 level. Okay, but right now we just have that sideways consolidation. So let's see how that shakes out. Now again, RSI. Your MACD RSI is pretty much the same as what you have on gold. And your MACD here, you can see how it's flattening out, and look at the little bars coming up here. So I think it's a matter of time before we're going to take out that 21-day and retest that 53.76 level. Okay. All right. Let's take a look here now at crude oil. All right, here we have the old crude oil. Now it's hanging in here pretty tough. Now I would point it out here, this inverse head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder's head and right shoulder. But this right shoulder, this is dragging out a little bit, just a little bit too far here now. Okay, so we have a series here of lower highs and lower situation, which is not good. So on the upside here, what you're watching that 60.27 level, kind of hanging right in there. Next level would be right above that, would be that 61.09, and then we look at it here, that 61.57. That is going to be your target, but you got to be careful because how many times that we hit it in the past. Let me dig it up a little bit for you. And it's held here very, very nicely. Okay. Now, if we get above that, we can come up to that price channel, 62.59. We have 63.74, 64.97, and then your big retest up there at that 66.42. But right now, we just have this consolidation, and we're just like trending on a downside, situation. Now, here we are here, the 21-day, 59.56. That's exactly what we want to watch there on the downside. And then we go to yesterday's low. Yesterday we had like an indecision candle, and now we're just trading between the 21-day and the 8-day. So if we lose that 21-day, then we look to yesterday's low. That's going to be down at that 58.83 level. Then we'll come to the top of that candle. You're looking at 58.08, and then we have 57.34. We have 56.35, and then your retest at 55.96 level. But right now there really isn't a whole lot of trading situation kind of going on here. Okay, so it's very, very small, very, very short trades. So what I'm looking for is I trade the UCO on a long, SCO on a short. I'm not really looking for a whole lot, maybe 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents kind of a situation, but I'm trading 5,000 shares, so you can still get some juice out of that. Okay, now 47, this is rare. We got plenty of room to, it's not overbought or oversold. Same way here, green over red, but we just have this like a consolidation right on the downside there. Okay, now OPEC is going to still cut here in November of 136,000 shares, 1,000 barrels a day, and then December they're going to just stop everything, and they're going to see how this all going to shake out here, because right now you're starting to build a pretty good sized glut. If you look at the E&I report, you had 4.6 million barrels. And the API had like over 5 million barrels, that like in a stockpile there. So you got to just be a little bit cautious now, especially even this time of the year. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. Now you can see here how we had this contract roll. Okay, so if you're trading ETFs like UNG or for long, oil for the long, KOD for the short, you notice that they didn't really move, okay, because until we start rallying up here, okay? So now, as always pointing out here, this price channel, now we got as high as 4.42 level, okay? So what did I say here when we had this topping tail right there? We had that 4.39. I said your next level is going to be 4.42, and all you have to do is just look right over here to the left of the chart here, and what do you see? 4.42. Okay, see, that's your next level. Okay, now if we get above that, then we'll come right up top of this candle right here. You're looking at 4.47. That's going to be next. Okay, then when your next level, that's what we're going to be going to here. You got that 4.51. We have 4.55, and then we come up here at 4.58, and then we have a retest. Okay, so everything you really need to know about the resistance and your upside targets is sitting right here. Okay, because a lot of times is where it's been is usually where it's been before. That's why you want to trade the charts and you want to trade the candlesticks. Okay, so here on the downside, we have this sideways consolidation because we're basically outside those price channels. So what we're really watching is today we got the as lows here so far as 4.32. So we just looked right to the left here. You have 4.29. That's going to be your next level, okay? And then we'll come right down here to these level here. You're going to have, this is going to be key, is this 4.18. That's going to be very, very key because now the 8-day is scrambled all the way on up here. Now, if we start losing that 4.88, then we just venture all the way down here, okay, to this bottom of that candle, looking at 408 here. We'll come down here, looking at a 401 level. Then we come to the top of that candle. You're looking at that 386 level. Then we look to the bottom of that candle, looking at 3.75. Then we come to the top there, you're looking at 3.58. And then we're right there at that 3.58 at your 21-day. Now, the gap, always watch that 375, and then we have that 3.43. 7543, that is going to be your gap and your fill. But we have the 21-day up nicely, 50-day up nicely, and the 8-day up nicely. Okay, so bottom line here, we just really want to hold that 8-day today, and we have sideways consolidation. We want to hold that 8 simple moving average, and on the upside, we want to crack above that 442 level, and then we can come right here to your next level, right there at that 447. Okay, so just take one level at a time. That's how you really want to trade. Okay, so 447 on the upside. If you keep rolling, 451, 455, 458, and then we can jump all the way here to that 490 level if she keeps that on rolling. Now, you are here to an oversold condition, but with that gap up on that contract roll, it kind of threw the charts a little bit out of whack. So this isn't really what you call dead nuts accurate. Again, so realistically, what you do is just watch that 442 on the high side and watch that key 8-day there on the old downside. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here at the old midday trading, and we'll take a look here at some stocks, and we'll see how it's all going to shake out here today. But again, remember, if we have a sell-off here today, always look for some opportunities here, just like yesterday. We had a massive big sell-off to start, and then the market got better, and there was some really good trades within that market, and then it sold off at the end of the day. So don't be afraid to hear, like a scalp a trade, but get out of it. Take your profit, okay? If it goes higher, you can always buy it back again. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.